Hey guys, Lise here from Hustle and Groove, and I wanted to record this video to help you start to build your authentic voice online, and also how to start using that voice in a way that makes building your audience easier. So I'm introducing you to something I call the story bank, and other people might call this other things, but really this is your story bank, as in the stories that you tell again and again and again that connect and resonate with your audience. And this could be your origin story. It could be literally any story that comes up, any experience that you have that you can use to bring back to your business, right? To use in terms of explaining things. And that's exactly what the story bank is for, right? It allows you to build this bank of stories that you can come back to again and again and again and pull elements out to help you sell something on your sales page, to help you connect with your audience around a specific topic. So I wanted to just give you a couple of different examples, and then all I'm going to encourage you to do is to create a document. Now, you could put this into a spreadsheet. It literally doesn't matter where you store it, as long as you're adding to it on a regular basis. So my goal is to add a new story every month. Now, I don't always do this perfectly, but certainly around whatever it is that I'm selling, I like to come in here and just add in more stories. Now, you experience things on a day-to-day basis, just like your audience does, right? So why wouldn't you come in and fill this out? So this is not about you needing to be an amazing storyteller, although if you do pick up the Authentic Storytelling Planner, that will definitely help you learn how to storytell. This is more of a document for you to just kind of brain dump things in. So you can see here, I've already got a whole bunch of stories in here. There are some that I've still got that haven't been added in. I happen to have things all over the place, and I'm sure that all of you are like that, right? We don't always keep everything all in one space. But what I try to do is every story that I've told on a sales page or in emails, I try and capture that in here. But the way that you want to think this through is, what's a story that I can tell to showcase something and help my audience understand something more through this story? So I've got this relationship story here. I don't think I've actually used it. I may have used it in one of my books. I don't think I've actually used it on a sales page. And this was just one where I just literally dropped in something that happened, and as you can see, 1998. That's how long ago the story is. And basically it is about 20-something Lees. And you can read this, you can kind of see here how this kind of went. But basically what I was saying here is I was comfortable. This was my whole entire point. I was so comfortable and so worried about what life would look like if I left this relationship that I stayed 12 months longer than I should have, right? So that's really where this goes. So I didn't go into all the relationship. You can see here it's a very short snippet. But basically what I've said here is, I quickly realized how bad of an idea what that was, and began the journey of figuring out who Lise was and what she wanted. And then I said, a business you've created that no longer lights you up from the inside is very much like staying in an unhealthy relationship. And so that's what I want you to do. When you start building your story bank, sometimes it's easy to do this in a two-step process. Number one, to just drop in any stories that you think might be relevant. They don't necessarily have to have some very clear direction to your business right now, but just capturing the stories and then circling back and coming back in and going, okay, which elements of the story can I use to help my audience understand something that I'm trying to help them understand, right? Remembering that whenever we are selling something, it's not so much about selling, it's actually about being able to convey the result that we're helping someone achieve. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through story. So there's my relationship story. I definitely encourage you to put in kind of your origin story, like how your business started. I've got this one here that says defining business moment. And this one is literally cemented in my brain. This is the one that most of you will have heard me talk about again and again and again. It's how I got started online. And then I can go through the process of talking about how I'm multi-passionate and I've got lots of different scenarios of that. But bottom line, this is about you being able to capture your stories all in one place so that when you do come to creating lead magnets, when you do start to create your landing pages, your sales pages, your blog content, literally every piece of content that goes out into the world, that you are including some type of story element in there that then leads people back to your offers, to whatever it is that you're selling. So hopefully this is a very quick video. I really just wanted to show you what I'm doing with this. And you can literally see on my sales pages where I use it. Actually, let me show you just really quickly what that looks like for my main sales page. So I think this will be super helpful so that you can just see where I'm incorporating the story elements here. So on the Digital Business Lab sales page, so I'm just going to move this up. Not only have I got story from me, but I've also got stories from my actual audience, and that's a whole other layer, something we definitely cover inside the discoverable content training inside DBL. But basically what I want to show you is here. This is kind of my story as it relates to this particular offer. And so that's the other component that I really want you to understand, is that you need to be able to tell a story and your audience needs to be able to see themselves in that story. And this should be easy to do because I'm assuming that whatever it is that you are creating and offering, that you have experienced the same issues and challenges that your audience has, because it's so much easier to speak from a place of experience versus theory. So as you can see here, I kind of walk through, I kind of gloss over getting started in 2011. I talk about a few different things, but the main thing that I talk about here is what happened in 2019, where I basically invested so much money into working with a coach and how it didn't work out. And then I'm also talking about being multi-passionate and loving what I was doing, but found myself no longer wanting to work with one-on-one clients and what that really looked like. So a couple of different story elements here. As you can see, it's not a huge component that you have to include here unless it makes sense to do so. If you want to go into a much deeper story, you can, but it's 100% not required. So that's what I do on the Digital Business Lab. On the Digital Income Accelerator, let me just quickly show you how I'm using the story element there, because they're different. They're two very different containers. They're both memberships and they're both coaching memberships, but different audiences. Well, same audience, just at different phases. Let's put it that way. So this one here is a little bit more about, that there's lots of different ways to grow your online business and nurture your audience. So I go into a little bit of that. And then here you'll find more about that 9K investment that I made that didn't quite pan out. So I go into a lot more detail into this one here. And this is a much bigger story to be able to convey what went wrong, but then also how I fixed it. So you also want to be able to do that. And that generally won't come until you have your offers, and then you can go through your story bank and connect them back to your offers. So hopefully this just gives you an idea of how to get started with creating your own story bank and where you get to utilize those. And as I said, in terms of building your audience, this is the type of content that you would use on your landing pages, your opt-in pages, but also inside any offer or any lead magnet that you create. You also want to include kind of your origin story or how you kind of got started and why this particular lead magnet is going to help them. So story is literally in everything that you do. And I just hope that you go through and create this process for yourself, because it is so powerful when you speak through experience, but also share where you've come and where you are now. Okay, lovelies, enjoy the rest of your day. And if you've got any questions, pop them below and I'll chat with you soon. Take care.